Hello and welcome back to the True Shampoo Review, the show where I pick 7 new shampoos every episode and tell you which one I think would clean your horse the best. In this episode, we're talking about Taylor Swift's new album. Today, I'm going to be taking a detour from my typical blind review format because, to be honest, after posting this video and this video and this video, it became incredibly difficult to avoid other reviews of this album and other reactions to this album. So far, people have been incredibly vocal about their hatred for this album, or they've been incredibly vocal about their love for this album, so it's just been really hard not to see other people's opinions. I still want to review the album because I have a lot to say about it, but it won't be blind necessarily. But nevertheless, after listening to this album multiple times for this review and watching Taylor Swift's movie and soaking in everybody else's reviews, I can pretty confidently say that this album is not as bad as people are saying it is. And I want to first illustrate that point by sharing with you my biggest negative for the album, which seems a little counterintuitive, but I think you'll see how it ties back. So my main issue with this album is that there are some amazing topics and amazing song ideas that are tainted by cringe, and very much so. For example, for all the flack that it's getting, I think Eldest Daughter is actually a really good idea for a song. I went to go see Taylor Swift's movie, which I made a review of, and you should totally go and watch. And in the talking head that she recorded for the song, she said that her inspiration for the track was just observing that a lot of eldest daughters have very similar experiences and dealt with a lot of the same issues in their families, so she wanted to make a song that encapsulated that and kind of talked about that shared experience. And I think that's a great idea. I've never thought about that. I've never heard a song about that, and that could be really cool. But then she adds in this line, and this line, and this line. And then all of a sudden, you're completely distracted from the amazing idea that's riddled throughout this song. Like, it just becomes very difficult to appreciate the meaning of this song because it's filtered with all this cringe. Another great example of this, and you might balk at this, but bear with me, is the song Canceled. So in the talking head that she did for this song in the movie, she explained that her inspiration behind it was observing that she has seniority in the music world in the sense that she has been canceled or criticized so much that she knows how to deal with it. And accordingly, she kind of likes to take new artists under her wing and help them process all this criticism and work through all those cancellations. So she just wanted to write a song about what that feels like of being this kind of experienced veteran that can help out all the new recruits, which, just like Eldest Daughter, super cool concept, super original concept. I've never heard that from an artist before. Then once again, why did you choose to write it like this and then throw in these lines? It completely taints it, and now all of a sudden I can't even see this amazing idea that's behind the song. I think you get the point, but just to throw in 2 small little examples, you have Wish List, which I think is a really cute song, great idea, it's fun, and then you throw in this weird little part at the chorus, and then this line, and then there's Honey, which I think this one is pretty solid all around, but then you still at the very end have the baddest in the land part, and it's just like really awkward. So anyway, tying it back to my original idea that I don't think that this album is as bad as people are saying it is, I think this song has some amazing concepts on it and some amazing ideas, but just on the surface, it's just really hard to appreciate that because of the way that she writes it. And one thing that I've been kind of worried about for this review is that I don't want it to say like, oh, these lines are so cringe, they're so lame or whatever, and not be able to give a decisive answer for why that is. Like, I really can't tell you why these lines are cringy. Like, I wish I could say definitively, okay, this word fires this synapse and then it elicits this response. But no, it's just like these lines are intuitively cringe, and I wish I could articulate that better. But I think everybody knows what I mean when I say that, and I think a lot of people clearly agree with me that these lines are very, very cringy. So I bring all that up to say I'm so surprised that Taylor Swift does not also have that intuition. Like, I do believe that she is a good songwriter. She seems like a sensible, self-aware person, so I'm just shocked that she can write these lines and then not realize, like, you know what, people are probably gonna find this really cringy. Maybe I shouldn't write it. I feel like, and I know that she's smarter than that. So I'm just surprised that like these lines slipped through. So let's leave that be for a second. I wanna move on to something similar. And that's that when I first listened through this album, I kept saying to myself, like, this sounds like a high school poetry assignment. And I wasn't saying that to be mocking or rude, but that was the emotion that I kept feeling the entire time that I was listening through it. And I kept saying, it sounds like she's reading old books and then taking words out of those old books and then just throwing them into songs. And I kept saying that to myself so many times as I was reading through the lyrics. And anyway, I kind of felt like I was in the wrong for that maybe, but then I watched the movie and she admits this, and I was right. That is exactly what she does. So in her talking head for Opalite, she talks about how the entire inspiration for the song was that she read the word opalite in like an old poetry book or something, and then wrote down the word, and then a little while later came back and was like, oh, I like that word, and then kind of made a song out of it. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can be inspired by whatever you'd like to be inspired by, but I point that out to say that it shows, and I think that's why some people find it hard to really dig into her music, because at least to me, a lot of her music feels like she's putting on a coat. It feels like she's putting on a costume from earlier on in the 1900s or something. It doesn't really feel like Taylor Swift talking. And I will say, I actually think Opalite is a really good song. That's my favorite on the album. I think that word is totally fine. This is not me dissing on the song Opalite. I do like that song, but I just thought it was interesting that she flat out said exactly what I was thinking. And to kind of provide some other examples of where I think this is obvious, like she has in Cancelled, beware of the masked crusaders and poison thorny flowers. Or in Father Figure with the leads to the chateau. Or in Fate of Ophelia with the line, bed full of scorpions, the venom stole her sanity, existing in the exact same song that references the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, are these lines that bad? No. Like, they're fine. They're not, like, horribly offensive or anything, but I can kind of see why they maybe give people the wrong impression or sometimes sound a little disingenuous. My other and last big issue with this album is that I am confused by the life of a showgirl imagery. Based on the title of this album and the very effective, poignant promotion for it, I really expected this to be more of a conceptual deep dive into the intricate details and issues of a performer at Taylor Swift's level, and kind of talking about all the things that we don't see and all the difficulties that we don't see. But to be honest, at least in any sort of direct way, that's really not what you get with this album. And I guess that's fine. That's not inherently an issue, but the reason I point it out is because the showgirl theme is so poignant, right? Like, they went so hard in the music video and with the dresses and all the promotional images in the movie. So I really thought that the theme of a showgirl and a performer was going to be in the lyrics more directly, because it's in everything else. So considering that the showgirl theme was so poignant in everything, I really thought that it would be poignant in the lyrics too, but it's not. Like, obviously it is in the title track for this album, but other than that, we really don't get that at all, besides maybe Cancelled as well. 9 out of 12 songs in the album have really nothing to do with the theme of a showgirl or the inner workings of Taylor Swift's fame, at least not in any sort of direct way. Maybe abstractly, but not in a direct, literal sense. Like, what does a fictional high school love story really have to do with the life of a showgirl, And like, what does a song about the struggles of being the oldest sibling have to do with the life of a showgirl? And what does a song about Travis Kelce's penis have to do with the life of I don't know. That actually does seem very important to Taylor Swift. Maybe that one does make sense. Well, guys, this has been a reasonable but not blind shampoo review. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you subscribe and you like and you turn notifications on, I can assure you that you will see more shampoo content in your inbox every week. Thanks for watching, guys.